Every space dictatorship needs some sort of organization to compel or even propel support for their ideologies. Today we're going to be talking about the Commission for the Preservation of the New Order, also known as COMPNOR, a political organization under the Empire that attempted to organize support for the Empire. But today, instead of focusing directly on that organization, we're going to be focusing on its founding figures and its roots during the Clone Wars. While COMPNOR itself started under the Empire, it had a predecessor organization during the Clone Wars, COMPOR, or the Commission for the Preservation of the Republic. This group was started by the Supreme Chancellor's office, which we should note doesn't necessarily mean the Chancellor himself started it, just that him or his staff had some hand in forming it. The political objectives of the group, though stated as the unity of the Republic, was really to lobby for increased power for the executive branch and the Chancellor in particular. This group also had a youth wing to start indoctrinating new members for COMPOR called the Subadult Group, or SA Group. This group remained in place even under COMPNOR with the same name. For information on the group under the Republic, most of the references come from an edition of the HoloNet News, a publication within the Star Wars Insider magazine, specifically Star Wars Insider 70 for this one. There are a few good quotes from it, but because of its in-universe perspective, we don't have much reference to some of the later leading figures of COMPNOR and any role they may have played, even though COMPNOR's figures like Ish and Ilraz do reference having been essentially lifelong supporters of that ideology. Ilraz, if you don't recognize the name, would later go on to be a Grand Admiral under the Empire. My own speculation would be that they were therefore involved in some capacity either in the youth wing for some of the younger ones, or in COMPOR itself for the older ones. Janus Grijatis, one of the leading COMPNOR figures, had previously served as a senator of the Chomel sector right after Palpatine, and before being replaced by another senator and then Padme Amidala. Grijatis seems like a prime figure to have been involved in COMPOR in its earliest days. He was a staunch ally of Palpatine's, but did espouse strong anti-alien policies, which Palpatine himself attempted to at least publicly distance himself from. The anti-alien bias of COMPOR and future COMPNOR members, which became pretty much an explicit tenet of the group, much to the pleasure of many of the core sectors under the Empire, was much more couched in anti-separatist terms during the Clone Wars. A SAG group rally had many commenting on the 95% human makeup of the rally, with the remainder being near-human species. COMPOR spokespeople would call the claims of anti-alien prejudice ridiculous, alleging that they had plenty of alien membership applications, they just simply hadn't gotten around to approving them yet. According to the West End Games Rebellion-era sourcebook, despite millennia of cooperation between thousands of species, many in the core worlds had become more open to anti-alien sentiment during the Clone Wars because they saw the wars as being propelled by alien-led organizations like the Trade Federation, Commerce Guild, and banking clans. The actions during, for example, the blockade of Naboo in Episode 1 made it inevitable that a similar war would happen, so a lot of the blame, as far as the core worlds were concerned, fell on the heads of these aliens. Even the policy-based objectives of COMPOR members went beyond just advocacy for the expansion of Palpatine's powers, though, and into more direct anti-alien measures. Tanin Praji, the chair of Coruscant's Ministry of Ingress, or essentially the Office of Immigration, became subject to pressure from COMPOR to not just bar immigrants from certain sectors associated with the Separatists, but also to deport those groups en masse, including Gossims, who were a prime species within the Commerce Guild, Neomoidians, Aqualish, and Corran, despite several of the groups from those species being from places that largely supported the Republic and remained loyal, like the Aqualish of the Andoan Free Colonies, which remained represented in the Republic Senate by an Aqualish senator. As the war progressed, it was not uncommon for COMPOR members to get positions as officers in the Republic Navy as well. There was actually a request to do a video about where officers in the Republic Navy typically came from more broadly, so that's actually a topic I'd like to do, and that should be coming up soon. After the war's conclusion, with the declaration of the New Order, COMPOR fused with the Imperial Security Bureau to form COMPNOR, with the ISB, or Imperial Security Bureau, now being subordinate to the broader goals of COMPNOR, essentially putting the propaganda-based organization in charge of most parts of Imperial intelligence. Before we go though, I want to thank Valerie for the new intro screen for Datapad. She did a great job with the image, and any issues with blending it into the video are all my fault and something I'll be working on as we go here. She also does concept work for Empire War Expanded, including the new Empire of the Hand redesigns and Hapen designs, which you may be familiar with if you follow our mods for Empire at War and Sins of a Solar Empire. There'll be a link to her portfolio in the description if you'd like to check out her other work and potentially get a commission yourself. If you have any suggestions for future videos, please leave them in the comments. If you've enjoyed this video, consider leaving a like or subscribing for more. That really helps the channel out. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time.